Internet. This is William Bibiani from Crave Online, and we are here in okay-looking Beverly Hills, California for the gray carpet premiere of Batman: The Dark Knight Returns, Part 2.
Look, one of these days, someone with authority is going to tell me to come stop you. And when that happens,
I hereby issue a warrant for the Batman's arrest.
When that happens, may the best man win.
It's actually rather unique for the DC animated films because you split it into two. Was that always the plan, to split it into two, or were you planning on doing one epic film?
We have four books to translate. How do we fit that within a 70-minute, kind of time span? And of course, I have to give this to Bruce Timm and those guys, the producers, because they worked it out beforehand. They're like, you know what? Why don't we try doing this as two? And luckily, Home Video was behind that idea. They thought, well, you know what? Let's try that.
Did you ever get a chance to talk to Frank about this?
I did get to talk to him during the making of these movies. It happens that he and I met years ago, back when I wrote Legends of the Dark Knight, the Batman animated series episode that has a little Dark Knight segment in it. I know he liked what we did there, and I hope he likes what we did here.
Do you have a favorite DC comic book that you'd like to see adapted into this medium again that you'd want to be a part of?
When I was a kid reading comics, I read Classics Illustrated. I read Dickens. I was reading Tale of Two Cities and things like that.
A lot of people kind of think that the animation director does everything on this movie. What's the process for something like The Dark Knight Returns?
There's a tremendous amount of work that has to be done before we get into the recording session. And that work is extremely difficult and extremely time-consuming and very frustrating often, because we'll be negotiating with the talent and we'll get it all lined up, and then they get a big fat movie, live action, and they take off. My favorite part is when I get in the studio with the actors and get to work with them one-on-one. All the rest is making the cake. Directing the actors at the session is the party part.
When you were reading the book again to do the adaptation, that you're saying, we don't need this, because there's a lot of kind of dodgy material sort of politically, or the treatment of Catwoman is a bit controversial in the comics.
In terms of politics, the material is so rich and so challenging and asks so many questions that it lent itself to leaving those things as questions, not as hard decisions. And Frank also, like in much of comic book tradition, has a healthy distrust of illegitimate authority in all its forms on all sides of the aisle. So it gave me a chance to take potshots at everybody, not just, pick on the liberals.
What's funny is that a lot of the political and social commentary that The Dark Knight Returns is in it actually relevant to today, so it's kind of universal. A lot of the themes, about, giving up our rights and letting the government take over and not doing anything to take back those rights. And that's something that I think that's, no matter what time period you look at, it's always universal.
He's a murderer now. Jim, if you've talked to him, you have to let me know.
He and I don't talk anymore.
Whenever I'm offered one of these films, the first question I ask is, can I use Kevin Conroy? Because to me, he is Batman. Whenever I prep a script, regardless of what project it is, I always hear Kevin's voice as Batman. And then I have to go, okay, it's not going to be Kevin, it's going to be somebody else. So you have to change that channel and go to someplace else. But I can't help it. Kevin and Mark Hamill as Joker, they're always my first choices. I always ask if I can use them first.
Is there anything that you feel like you can't do? Like, could you not do, Identity Crisis because of the subject material? Is there anything that's verboten?
There are characters that I would love to do movies of.
Such as?
I'm going to say like Birds of Prey, or, a solo Catwoman movie or something like that. But
they couldn't get a Catwoman movie, you think?
I don't think we would sell enough units, unfortunately. I don't think the math doesn't work. But so honestly, that would be something that I would love to do. Well, actually, I'll amend that. For instance, The Killing Joke has come up for conversation several times in terms of possibly doing an adaptation of it, and we've come really, really close to greenlighting it. And then we always kind of get cold feet. Somebody gets cold feet, goes, I don't think the world's ready for this yet. And but you never know, someday.
What would you like to do if you had your druthers? What would be like your ultimate DC animated project?
I'd love to do an Arkham Asylum kind of adaptation. That would be kind of cool. I would love to do Long Halloween would be great. Actually, Gotham by Gaslight. I think we could do that.
Yes!
I think we could do that as one movie.
That would be awesome. That would be so cool. I'd love that, man.
I would like to see a Nightwing story, a full, big, old Nightwing story. I think it's a fascinating character, and I've never really worked on a project that really expanded that character to more than just a guest here and there.
How about Blackhawks?
Yes! No, Blackhawks would be awesome. Blackhawks would be totally awesome.
Blackhawks.
Do it.
Don't film that. Don't get that out there.
Bruce! Is he dead?